think that Minister for Finance comments since yesterday at the Bloomberg Journalist Forum were naive. The idea that if a Greek default, that the only effect that it would have on Ireland was that we wouldn't get our feta cheese in our shopping baskets. The reality is that the Minister is living in a different type of reality. The people of this country know that austerity isn't working. The cuts aren't working. The tax increases haven't worked. 24 billion euro has been taken from our economy. That's taken from families right throughout this state as a result of austerity measures, and it hasn't resulted in economic growth. It hasn't created the type of jobs that this country needed. It hasn't given the hope to young people who are being forced to emigrate. So what Minister Noonan needs to do is forget about the sound bites, forget about the blame game or the scaremongering. I challenge Minister Noonan as the finance spokesperson for the Yes side to come out and debate me in his studio audience and tell the people of Ireland, tell them where he is going to get the €6 billion of cuts that he will be asked to do if he signs up to this austerity treaty. Tell them what it will mean to have to reduce our debt by 1/20th every year from 2019 onward. Tell them what it will mean that if we breach these rules, that we can be enforced by the Commission, that the European Court of Justice can fine us to the tune of €160 million. That is the type of questions that Minister Noonan is running scared of. We've already had the analogy, or we've already had the fact that the Taoiseach has ran scared of Gerry Adams. So now it's time for Minister Noonan to stand up to the mark, to see me in a studio, and let's debate the real facts, the real impacts that this will have on ordinary people, the length and breadth of this state if they vote for this austerity treaty on the 31st of May.
Here at the memorial to those who died at the Dublin Monaghan bombs, 1974, 38 years ago. People died right across the state after bombs were placed in Dublin and Monaghan. Unfortunately, a lot of the relatives are getting older. They're still looking for justice for their loved ones. The issue has been raised over the years. No government has seemed to tackle it. British government are still in denial that they have information in relation to this. We all know that there was collusion between the British forces, loyalists who planted the bombs. We know that the loyalists at that time didn't have the technology to plant bombs of the size that went off in Dublin and Monaghan. And unfortunately, the families are still without justice 38 years later. We are calling on the British government to release all the information that they have in relation to this atrocity that happened in Ireland. And the Irish government need to put pressure on the British government to release those files immediately.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that we welcome the publication of the HIQA report in relation to the emergency services and the irregular and unacceptable placement of patients in association with the emergency department at that hospital. We have it to say that it isn't only an issue that reflects on Tallaght Hospital, it's one that applies at hospital sites right throughout the state. And it is very, very important that the lessons are learned. And I would like to concur with the views expressed by Dr. Tracy Cooper, the head of the Health Information and Quality Authority, who has stated that it is unacceptable and will not be tolerated in the future where patients are placed in trolleys in association with emergency departments and left for inordinate periods of time, ostensibly being treated in those conditions. It's not on, it isn't acceptable, and we in Sinn Féin have not been dependent on the publication of this report to make this point. We have been making this case repeatedly, not only to the current minister but indeed to the former government representatives in health, and that is a position that we hold to strongly. It's sad and intolerable that it has taken to this point in time and the publication of this report before there is any indication that serious intent and action will follow.
Well, today we're here to launch the Sinn Féin Clár for the Ardèche, which is taking place in Killarney in County Kerry on Friday the 25th and Saturday the 26th of this month. It'll be an historic Ardèche, the first time Sinn Féin has held its annual Ardèche in Munster, and it follows on from the very successful and historic Ardèche that we had in Belfast last year. And the themes of the Ardèche, well, we'll debate many sections across environment, the Irish language, education, health, justice, workers' rights, international, all of those sections. But the main theme and current theme that will run through all of that there will be the issue of jobs, how to get people back to work, how to get economic recovery, and the issues of austerity, and particularly the Austerity Treaty that the people of the 26 counties are being asked to vote on the 31st of May. We will have the televised leaders' address from Gerry Adams, our president, on Saturday evening at 5:30, broadcast live on RTE1, and we will also have a live slot at 11 o'clock from 11 to 1, broadcast live on RTE1 and BBC, and that will have a range of speakers from the party which will address different current themes that are of interest to the public. So we expect it to be a very positive Ardèche. It's about offering solutions, it's about giving hope to people, it's about showing people that there is a different path from austerity. There's many people out there who have suffered the brunt of this government, of the Tory government's cuts. They've seen their hopes destroyed, they've seen their disposable incomes reduced. You know, here in this state we have 440,000 people unemployed, 91 families are falling into mortgage distress every single day, 1,500 young people are immigrating, giving up hope in this country and hoping that another country, a foreign country, can give them the opportunities that this government denied them here at home. So we're trying to say to them that there is hope, there is a different way, there are policy options, and Sinn Féin has those policy options. So we'll be debating them over this weekend, based in core Republican values, about citizens being central, about protecting public services, about equality for our people. So we expect a lot of people there. 1,500 delegates will attend the Ardèche, and I hope that people can tune in either at home to the live sections, or if you're in the area, to attend the INAC next weekend in Killarney on the 25th and 26th and join Sinn Féin for our deliberations.